NBA training camp tips off on September 28th. Can't believe the NBA season is right around the corner. So coming up on today's show, we're going to take a look at some Celtics breakout candidates who could flourish this upcoming season under first-year head coach Ime Udoka. But first, a reminder to subscribe if you want the best Celtics news and rumors right here on YouTube. Let's get to these Celtics breakout candidates. I think a very obvious one is Robert Williams, also known as the Time Lord. What an awesome nickname for this high-flying big man who burst onto the scene last year and I thought was very, very impressive as he continues to develop. We knew coming out of Texas A&M he was going to be somewhat of a developmental project, but because of his acceleration last year, that's a big reason why he was able to land that large contract in NBA free agency during the offseason. You take a peek at his numbers last year in 52 games, Robert Williams, especially after the All-Star break, became a very solid contributor on both ends of the floor for the Boston Celtics. 8 points per game, little less than 7 rebounds. Almost 2 blocks per night is a very elite number, and he shot 72% from the floor. Now keep in mind, a lot of those baskets were him throwing down alley-oops, putbacks, dunks around the rim. This is not a big man who is going to stretch the floor, but it gives you a lot of versatility on both ends of the floor. Working the two-man game, throwing down some alley-oops. Can, at best case scenario, down the road, he become a Clint Capella type of player? That certainly intrigues me. I talk about that contract. There were a couple different reports about the extension that Robert Williams had signed earlier this offseason, somewhere in the neighborhood of the mid-50s in terms of millions of dollars. It's not going to be that high, according to Jay King of The Athletic, and I think that's good for the Celtics as an organization because they're somewhat tight on cash, but this is what Jay King had to say about that deal. Robert Williams' contract extension includes $48 million guaranteed, plus $6 million in unlikely incentives per sources. He will earn extra money if he plays in 69 games in a season, and even more if he does that, plus the Celtics advance in the playoffs. He also has all defense incentives as well, and I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility for Robert Williams to be an all-defensive caliber player. Robert Williams is a fun developmental piece. A fun big man because he's a high flyer, he's got pogo sticks for legs, his jumping ability is incredible, and because of that jumping ability, he's able to sky amongst the trees and pull down some rebounds, block some shots as well, and provide some highlight reel-worthy dunks. And I think Ime Udoka is going to utilize him a little bit more with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown in that pick-and-roll game. So will the Time Lord have a breakout season coming up this season? Let me know, Celtics fans. Type Y for yes, type N for no. If you're new to us here at Chat Sports, we're a very interactive YouTube channel. A big part of what we do is audience interaction, so this is your opportunity to interact with us, sound off, and let your hot takes be known. Another Celtics breakout candidate. How about Payton Pritchard for the way that he played last year as a rookie coming out of Oregon, but also how he fared in the NBA Summer League, where I thought he was really, really good as a floor general and a playmaker. His Summer League stats in Las Vegas were impressive. Tick under 17 points per game, 8.5 assists, so that goes to show you that he can create for himself from a scoring output standpoint, but also for others with him dishing the basketball. Pretty good rebounder as well, almost 5.8 rebounds during the Summer League as well, and then shot almost 48% from the floor. So Payton Pritchard was impressive for me during the NBA Summer League, especially among some of the second-year players. I think him and Tyrese Maxey of the rival Philadelphia 76ers were probably the two best second-year players in the Las Vegas Summer League. You can throw Emmanuel Quickley and Obi Toppin into that equation as well. But with Marcus Smart figuring to be the starting point guard for the Celtics this upcoming season, then you have Dennis Schroeder who can either come in off the bench to spell Smart, or he can play off the ball as well. Payton Pritchard is a pretty solid backup, so I like that for Udoka's rotation. And if you go back and watch some of Payton Pritchard at Oregon, this is one of my bigger takeaways for him as an NBA prospect, watching him in the NCAA tournament and then him in the Pac-12. He's got a little dog in him. He's never afraid of the moment, never afraid to take the big shot. He can certainly thrive in a pressure cooker type of environment, and I think that certainly bodes well for him playing in a pressure cooker city like Boston, where the expectations are always high, and of course, they like some dogs. Look no further than a guy like Marcus Smart. Which overall grade would you give Payton Pritchard as a player going into year 2? Let's do a little NBA 2K scale, because I know a lot of you like to hop on the sticks in your gamers. Scale Pritchard as a player for me right now from 1 to 100 and get those votes in the comment section down below. Today's Celtics Today is presented to you by our sportsbook partner, BetUS. This deal from BetUS, it's the best of any sports book in any pocket of the world. If you go to chatsports.com/bet and you enter the promo code CHAT125, you get a 125% deposit bonus. What that means is if you put $100 in your account, you get an additional $125 back. That's $225 in total, only if you use that link and that promo code on your screen. NFL season is here. Maybe you want to lay down some wagers on week 1 of the NFL season. These are my top 5 picks for week 1. I like the Eagles as 3-point underdogs on the road against the Falcons. Seahawks giving 3 to the Indianapolis Colts as 3-point favorites on the road. Kind of like Russell Wilson and the Seahawks to be victorious in that game. I think the Niners are going to dump truck the Detroit Lions by like 17 points, so I like the fat number at -7.5. Bears +9, way too big for me, and because of all of the injury issues that the Baltimore Ravens have kind of suffered over the last couple of weeks, catastrophic injuries at that, I like the Raiders at +4.5. I was able to beat the books with that number. A couple more Celtics breakout candidates. Let's move on and pivot to Aaron Nesmith, former first-round pick in 2020, 14th overall, back half of the lottery, didn't do much as a rookie last year, so there are expectations for Aaron Nesmith to rise up to the occasion and to be much better in his sophomore campaign. Could it happen? Possibly. Bleacher Report thinks he's going to be a big part of the Celtics rotation. BR said this about Nesmith. One guy that doesn't seem likely to be glued to the bench is the 2020 NBA Draft's number 14 pick, Aaron Nesmith. The Vanderbilt product had a nice stretch run at the very end of last season when he averaged or scored 15-plus points in 4 of his final 10 appearances. He had an uneven postseason against the Brooklyn Nets, but followed that up with a strong showing in the Las Vegas Summer League. Bleacher Reports Zach Buckley believes that might have done enough to solidify his spot in the rotation. Nesmith headed into his first NBA offseason looking like a certainty for Boston's 2021-2022 rotation, and his 5 games at the NBA Summer League only solidified that. He went on to average 17.4 points per game on 50% shooting from the floor, 36 from deep, and 80% from the free throw line. So some expectations being thrown upon Aaron Nesmith. That's what happens when you're a former first-round pick, especially in the lottery, coming off a rookie season in which he was up and down. But did that moment of growth at the end of the season kind of signal that Aaron Nesmith could break out for the Celtics this upcoming season? That's why he's one of my breakout candidates. 10 minutes per game for Nesmith? What do you say? You type in O for over, you type in U for under. Let me know. That was about the threshold for Nesmith as a rookie. I think it would be the organization's hope for the over to hit, for Nesmith to get more than 10 minutes per game. Last breakout candidate, and I wanted to have some fun with this, so if you want to trash me in the comment section, you can, and say that doesn't qualify a head coach, get out of here. I think Ime Udoka, if he has a good rookie season as a head coach, could be a breakout candidate, and it could be a very important development for the Boston Celtics as a franchise. I've been on the record saying I like this hiring at the time. He's got familiarity with Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, because he coached them in the World Championship games with Team USA back in 2019. They advocated for Brad Stevens to hire him, and he had been in the running for previous head coaching gigs, and I think he just gets along well and gels well with this current roster because it does skew a little bit younger. So I like Ime Udoka to come onto the scene as a pleasant surprise as a first-year head coach. A reminder, once more, to subscribe to Celtics Today. We hit you with breaking news, the latest news and rumors, fun segments like this. Help us get to 10,000 subscribers here on the channel by simply hitting that red subscribe button down below.